Personal injury claims, when you can handle your own. If you think you may have a personal injury claim, you may be interested to know that you don't always need a lawyer. In fact, in some cases it may be better to handle the claim yourself. With some organization, and a bit of knowledge, you could deal with your personal injury claim without having to hire a lawyer. You may also be able to do this without your insurance company reducing or denying your compensation. If you did not suffer any major losses, you could also end up claiming more compensation than you would if you had hired a lawyer. This is because you will not have to pay a lawyer any fees. Claims that you may be able to handle by yourself. Some of the claims that you may be able to handle by yourself include accidents caused by defective products, slip, fall, or trip accidents, accidents in the home, pedestrian, bicycle, or automobile accidents. There may be occasions when you need a lawyer to step in and help you if you were involved in a bad accident, or you now have limiting or severe injuries. If you were injured due to toxic exposure, medical malpractice, or the accident was quite complicated, a lawyer may be needed to help you deal with the case. If your injuries or the damage to your property was relatively minor, it may be better for you to represent yourself. Armed with the correct information, you could save a lot of time and effort making a claim. The ease of the claims process. A lot of people tend to think that making a claim is difficult, and this is certainly what insurance companies often tell us. The truth is that the claims process can be quite an easy one, and involve making a few phone calls and writing a few letters. When writing the letters or making the phone calls, it's likely that you will be communicating with an insurance adjuster. Insurance adjusters typically have no legal training, which makes the process easier for you. It also means that you won't have to navigate your way through the often complicated legal terminology. All you really need to know is if the injured party was careful, if they had used common sense, who didn't use common sense, who wasn't careful, and how bad your injuries are. Working out how much your claim is worth. While it's not always easy to determine how much compensation you could receive, you can work out a rough estimate if you take the following into consideration. The type of accident that occurred, the injuries you sustained, the cost of your medical treatment. Your insurance company will typically use the above factors to work out how much they may have to pay you, and whether a lawyer representing the insurance company should handle the claim on their behalf. You have more knowledge about your claim. You automatically know more about your claim than a lawyer or an insurance adjuster. You know what happened during your accident, what injuries you sustained, and how much pain and suffering you have been through. You have more knowledge about all of these factors, and these are the most important factors you will need to take into consideration when you are trying to settle your claim. Handling your own claim saves money. Lawyers can typically negotiate an extra 10 to 25% more compensation that you may be able to, but only in very complicated or serious personal injury cases. However, a lawyer could take as much as 40% of the settlement figure in addition to charging you for administrative services. For example, if you win $10,000, your lawyer may take $4,000 plus fees, which means you could be left with less than half of the settlement you were awarded. If you were to deal with the personal injury claim yourself, you may end up keeping all of your settlement. However, if your case is complicated or you have suffered from disabling or permanent injuries, hiring an experienced lawyer may be worth your while.